Hi, I'm Jamel Colley, Vice President of Operations for Ally Precision in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Ally Precision is a company that brings new opportunities for commercial and OEM companies in the precision ag marketplace. I grew up in a small community in rural Minnesota on a dairy farm. I have about 12 years experience in automation and about the last 5 years focusing on precision agriculture. Today we're going to look at the ISOLynx Precision Ag Suite, and we're going to have Chris Safer, one of our systems integrators, talk about the project. Probably the key points to the ISOLynx product is the flexibility and control that the commercial application people have. A lot of the industry leaders are commercial application people driving the new innovation, and to be able to load up a job quickly and go is one of the key features that they've been requesting. One of those things is that we'll show you today is that we're able to load the job quickly, start you on your job. You can save up to 10 minutes a job. You translate per day equals to an hour and a half or 2 hours in a day, and when a guy's paid by the acre, it saves a lot of time, saves a lot of money. One of the benefits of having ISOLynx Precision Ag Suite versus some of the other systems out there is that it works across the platforms and is intended to benefit the commercial application person instead of the OEM. Historically, you only see precision ag suites working with only one type of equipment or one type of manufacturer, and having Ally Precision in there allows you to work across platform and have a standardized work platform across all makes of machines.
My name is Chris Safer, and I work with Ally Precision Industries. I'm Assistant Integrator, and what I'm going to be showing you today is the ISOLynx Precision Ag Suite. I'm going to go over just a couple basic things that we all have to offer here. Right now I just powered it up. And this is an ISO VT, so any types of anything that you would have on the CAN bus would pop up along the bottom menu bar here. And to get in, it's got some basic functions to look at what's on the USB stick, the terminal itself. You can set the brightness, volume, measurements. It's got a screenshot activation. If you wanted to go in and activate a screenshot, you can activate it or deactivate it. And then all you have to do is hit a button to get a screenshot and download it onto the USB stick. Other than that, the main screen's got an object pool, so everything that's ISO related will pull up here and be stored in memory, so you have a faster boot up time the next time you boot up. We'll go into the terminal screen here, or the tools screen, and we'll start at the terminal. You can go in and set your brightness. Keyboard pops up. If you want it at 50%, it obviously dims down for your day and your night. Night brightness is the same, and these two there correlate with this button right here, so you can set it up for if you're in the field during the bright day, you obviously want it bright, and at night you don't want it glaring at you. So let's set it at 40, so then you can see the difference in changes, and it's just one quick key at dusk to switch. We have keyboard brightness to activate or deactivate that. Volume, date, set your date and time, or actually your date there, I'm sorry, and your time here. Time zone, language, so it's universal. Measurements, metric, imperial, US. And then the last thing on this page is the screenshot, if you want to activate or deactivate. When you activate it, what will happen is if you have a USB stick in with the right file on it and you activate it, you hit the unlock button, and it will take a whole screenshot image. So for that way, for troubleshooting, for going back between the grower and the operator or the farmer and his farmhand, they could take a screenshot of what they have, so that way the farmer or grower can see what was actually going on during that situation. You can view what's on your USB stick. Go into each file, click on it, exit it out if you want. Like here's some of the screenshots, copy shots. Click on there, you can delete it. Yes, you want to delete it. Shows you everything that you have on the USB stick. So you can quick go in and if you happen to be storing to a USB stick, you can quick go in and look to see if your file actually has stored, or if you're looking for a file and the screen for some reason isn't accessing it. And the plugins have to do with your licenses, and you have to have a license for certain plugins, and you can turn them on, turn them off if you want to use them. The task manager is for the ISO XML files. The track leader is for navigation in the field for your section control, your variable rate. Your field nav is field-to-field navigation, and your ME chassis is a factory-based system for OEMs and some growers.
One of the key features with the sprayer controls that we have is you can take your nozzle color indication, and instead of using the book to decide what pressure range you have, the system automatically selects based on the color and will set the pressure compensation accordingly.
Next I'm going to go into, we have a sprayer ECU hooked up to it at the moment. I'm going to go into some of the sprayer functions. When you double click on there, it'll bring up your basic sprayer. If you wanted to move it over here, you could slide it around, or slide around, hit this to actually around, touch it. Pretty neat to move around. Works pretty handy if you want to see a couple different views of different screens. What we have here in the sprayer setting is basically your main page. There's 3 tabs here. This cycles through the tabs. Turn sprayers on and off. Turn your sections on and off, turn them back on. Zoom in, see how many gallons you have left in the tank, how many acres you have left with the gallons you have at the current spray rate, the gallons per minute, acres an hour that you're spraying at. And plus minus that, so 100% gives you your different rates of how, if you want to increase or decrease. See, right here, increase, decrease by to whatever your setting is. It goes off of that percentage, or goes off of that value and changes with the percentage. Let's go over here. Here's for your, if you had a corner nozzle, you can turn them on and off. And this is all can be integrated with your factory joystick. We offer different systems that we can integrate with all different makes and models, so we can tie into any type of joystick. So you don't have to actually hit the buttons on the screen, you can just use it with your handheld joystick. There's auto and manual mode. So when you're in auto mode, if you were using the navigation, it would automatically pop up, turn on. Or you can do manually, turn on and increase and decrease with whatever rate you want. We have the fill. You can fill it all. You can go in and enter if you want 1,000 gallons in there, you can put 1,000 gallons in there. We have different on the parameters screen. So to get to there, you click up here, got the parameters, your different rates. If you want to set a standard rate, type it into the 10th of a decimal. Pick your nozzle colors, set your working width, pulses for wheel pulse, different factors, minimum speeds, your tank size. You can set an alarm to pop up, so if you want to set it at 100 gallons, so when I get to 100, the alarm automatically pops up. Your flow meter calibration pulses are all right there. And on the nozzle selection, it's set up so you can configure your own nozzles or use the standard ISO colored nozzles, and it'll automatically figure out what pressure you want. And you can also look at it right here too, where if you go in and you click, you want to know the gray nozzle, it knows that's your gallon per minute at 43.5 psi. So you can do a minimum to a max, minimum psi of 29 and a max of 87 to get your 35 to 61 gallons an acre. Well, you know, your target is 43.5. We can go into nozzle settings so you can see what range you have with what color nozzles you have, and these are all based off the ISO standard. And you can program certain nozzles too if you have something that's not standard, or you can actually change them if the nozzles are wearing out. But like the first selection here is go through and you can pick your nozzle. You can see what the gallon per minute is at a rated PSI. You can type in the PSI and it will change, it'll tell you what the gallon per minute is. And also you can look right here and see what speed you want to go, and it'll tell you what range of gallons per acre you have at the bottom from a minimum and maximum PSI. So if you happen to be spraying at 10 miles an hour, you can go 12.9 to 22.3 gallons per acre and be within them pressure ranges. So this works really well with knowing what speed. It does all the math for you, so you don't have to look in the book. So on this page here, when you go in and you select what color you want by verifying how fast you want to go, what your speed is, your target speed, what gallon per acre is, to make sure everything falls in with the limit. Then when you go back to the main parameters page, it's already set up. So then when you start spraying, it will alarm out if you're in or out of the range. And also it works well too if you happen to not have a pressure sensor on your system. It will do a calculated pressure off the flow meter by using the nozzle color as its input.
One app that we have featured is our Headland Control app. The operator can drive the headland of the field. It will snap the border of that field and not let the machine spray outside of that border. It will give you the total acres inside that border, and it'll also give you a countdown of the acres left in that field.
Well, we're going to go into the navigation here, and not all the functions are going to completely work at the moment without a receiver hooked up, but I can go in here and show you a quick little demo of how it's going to look if you were running. Here's your painting software. We have 3D and 2D view. You can zoom out, zoom in, get smaller, get bigger just by touching the screen. Right, here's your A-B lines that'll automatically set up. Right now it's setting up A, now it's set up B. Some of your settings, it's not going to let me do it while it's doing the demo mode, but I can go back in there. But this is just the gist of what it's going to look like when you're actually out in the field. And let's wait here a second. You'll see how fast it can make the field border, which is really beneficial. So that way, on especially a sprayer application, when your boom spreads over the border, you don't want to be spraying your neighbor's field. Just be 1 second. Right now, it's giving us our speed, our total acres sprayed, our GPS quality, and our direction. And then on the top is kind of a digital light bar, as you would say. So at the end of the demo here, pull out and when the red border goes around it, you just boom, hit the button, and there's your field border, which is really slick and quick, so you can get to quick hit that and then take off and start doing the rest of your field.
Another app that we have is the variable rate app. That one allows us to take your shape files and convert them and use them in the machine. We can take pretty much any format, ISO XML or shapefile, and use those in the machine. Another app we have is section control. We can set your overlap and your automatic shutoff. Your booms, we can do up to 72 sections, which translates into individual nozzle control if you so wish. One of the features that we have with the ISOLynx is the ability to convert any type of file format and convert it back to any format that you want as well. For instance, we can take a shape file, convert it to an ISO XML file, and then send that file back to you in any format that you want, including CSV. And what that does is allows for any farm management software to use the machine, and the machine will do the conversion for you, so you don't have to convert all the acres that you have into a format.
Well, I went into storage. It just took my sprayed coverage map and brought it up on the storage screen so you get a quick visual. You hit the GIS export. It'll ask you what you want to call it. And you can pick your area, obstacles, field border. Like the only thing, we don't have any obstacles. So, I mean, that's kind of a moot point, but the headland, if I set up the headland, it would pop up if I wanted to save it as a headland or not. Show it as a state file, and boom, it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. You hit the X button, deletes it, disappears. Now I want to show you how quick and easy it is to set up a new job. I'm gonna go into the navigation, click the storage button, go into the menu map, zoom in, grab a file, pick what product I want, go down here and it's pounds per acre because this is a spreader, a fertilizer map. Click on the check mark to accept it as pounds per acre, and there it labels it all as what color to what rate I have per acre. Now if I return out of there, return out of that screen, I go back to the navigation, and if I had a GPS hooked up and we were at the field would show up on my navigation. And it's as easy as that.
If you'd like any information on the ISOLynx Precision Ag Suite, please contact Ally Precision Industries at toll-free 855-304-0444 or email at sales@allyprecision.com.